the original Friday the 13th. So I'm going back and reviewing the first three movies. I've already reviewed the final chapter and and A New Beginning. Those two reviews are up on my channel right now, but I thought now is a good time. Now is a good time to rewind and go back and review the first three movies, starting with that original classic that spawned the Friday the 13th franchise. And so I watched the original a few weeks back for the first time, and going into this movie, I was already very well aware of what its twist ending was and is going to be, and who the end killer is, who's been killing all these counselors, because that ending is so iconic and it's so it's so widely reported among the horror community now, that when Friday the 13th is brought up, it's hard to not bring up that ending, because that ending, when this movie came out, it shocked audiences. Like, people, this was a totally new franchise. This was a new slasher to people, and this came out around the time of John Carpenter's Halloween. So people, like, there wasn't like internet, there wasn't social media where clips from the movie can now be uploaded and you can just look up, I don't know, like Friday the 13th 1980 like ending, and that will be one of the first things that come up in your search bar, and you'll just be able to watch it. But yeah, when this movie came out, it wasn't like it wasn't really like that back then. So this was really shocking to a lot of people to actually see Jason's mum was the killer in this one. And so yeah, for me, the ending wasn't as shocking to me, but there was still a few surprises in this movie for me, like the very ending of this movie, where there's a dream sequence. Like, I did not expect that. First of all, I did not expect this movie to end on a dream sequence, and obviously there's the iconic scene in this movie where Jason launches himself out of the water and grabs our main final girl, and that I was already going to this movie waiting to see that scene, waiting to see the killer. But before I go on, I want to give credit to the cast of this movie, because I think this movie has a great cast of actors and characters in it. I think Jason's mum, the actor who portrayed Jason's mum, I cannot think of the name off the top of my head at the moment. I didn't really do any research before recording this review, but yeah, the actor who portrayed Jason's mum is incredible in this movie. She steals the show in this movie. She is absolutely incredible. She is terrifying in her presence. The way, like, when you first see her, there's this immediate fear for our final girl, because because here's the thing, like, because you just look at her and she already looks like crazy and someone you really don't want to mess with, and that's all in her performance, and she gives off that fear very well in the ending of this movie. And that's something I really liked, especially when you have, I guess, you have an actress that is actually willing to, I guess, cross lines to deliver a great performance. That's what she does in this, and she absolutely nails it. As Pamela Voorhees. And it's like it's sad that her character did get decapitated at the end of this movie, because I feel like she would have been like a great villain to have in part 2. But at the same time, I'm kind of glad she did get killed off in this movie, because then it made way for one of the most iconic, one of the most iconic horror icons in the horror community, Jason Voorhees. So yeah, so what is it? It's a win-win. It's a win-win scenario. Um, and oh yeah, because that's where your part two's Sackhead and Jason. Yeah, that's right. But yeah, so yeah, this movie. But yeah, like outside of Pamela Voorhees, the cast of main characters. Our main final girl is a very interesting character. She is really good. She's really good in this movie. Um, but yeah, this movie, like the ending didn't really impact me, which is what a lot of people like mainly talk about. A lot of people don't really talk about like the first two acts, but the third act is where this movie, where a lot of its surprises unfold. And yeah, the ending didn't really have any impact on me because I've seen that ending before. Being a horror fan, it's hard to not have seen this ending, float around. But yeah, like either way, the execution of the ending, I think, is really good. I think there's a good motivation for her character, for killing why she is, for killing who she is. So, and for why and all that. Her motivation is pretty self-explanatory. If you are already well versed in the Friday law, she has a good motivation. It's the ending is well executed. So yeah, the like outside of our main final girl, the characters. Like, like as I said in my final chapter and new beginning review, these characters, like, they do their purpose well. For some of them it's to be there. For some of them it's to be there and to and to die, whether that's from Jason or Pamela. In the case of this movie, it's Pamela Voorhees. Um, but yeah, outside of our main final girl, which part one and part two have a great final girl. Part one and two will probably have my best final girl in the first four movies. Um, and yeah, so yeah, like the characters outside main final girl, like I can't remember any of their names, but our main final girl, like she has a good personality. She's very sensible compared to everyone else. She's like one if she's one who's like who's always on the right track of things. She's always like, what's the word? She's always anti. She's always like the anti personality. So she's like, yeah. So she doesn't really want to have sex like all of her friends do. Um, but yeah, but yeah, our main final girl, I really dug her in this movie. I thought she was really good. Um, yeah, there's not really much else to. There's really not much else to add on to the first movie. But yeah, that's basically my thoughts. Like I saw the original maybe 3 4 weeks ago. So this is all off the top of my head from what I can remember of this first movie. But yeah, I remember enjoying it, but it didn't. This isn't. This wasn't. I guess this isn't like a great slasher. I know a lot of people consider this like a great slasher and a classic slasher. And on one end, this is a classic slasher that did spawn the icon Jason Voorhees and kind of built the whole backstory and the lore behind Jason. So this movie was a great setup for the introduction into Jason Voorhees. But yeah, this movie, I enjoy it as a slasher film and as an introduction to Jason Voorhees, which we see in part two. But yeah, like it's just like this. this isn't like a great movie. I know a lot of people do enjoy it, and I do enjoy it. I enjoy this movie quite a bit myself as well. But it didn't have, like, it didn't have that. It didn't have that shock value to me. It didn't have like that whole wow, I didn't know that was a killer. I didn't have that. So, but yeah, like as a standalone slasher and as an introduction to Jason Voorhees, I think this movie does a great job at doing that and setting up, especially setting up the lore of Camp Crystal Lake and what has happened here in recent years. So anyways, yeah, they're my thoughts on Friday the 13th, the original. Let me know down in the comments, have you seen Friday the 13th, the original classic? Let me know down in the comments. What did you think of it? Did you like it? Did you think it was mad, or did you really not like it? Let me know all your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section down below. So anyways, guys, I hope you have a good rest of your day, evening or night, wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next video. Alright, bye.